What's 8? We don't know what. Got my gay watch.
Good morning. Welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen, your co-host.
I recognize you from last week. I'm Michael Mandel.
You were
Remember
here
me?
last week.
Yes, but I didn't get my hair done like you did. Your hair is very nice today. So.
But you're going to be here, not here soon, right?
Not here soon, yeah. In a half hour, I'm out of here.
Me too.
Good. Great things going on in town, right?
Name 3.
Well, I'm wearing one of my more, gay shirts.
Festive.
Because in honor of Doma being knocked down.
What is DOMA, Michael?
I don't know. It's like an acronym, and I don't know what an acronym is. Oh, I know what an acronym is. NASA.
That's true.
That's an acronym. So we're lucky because DOMA was knocked out of the running. I think it's been in place for like 18 years. It's been there for a long time. The Defense of Marriage Act is what it is.
Defense of Marriage Act.
And the defense of marriage being a man and a woman.
Right.
Only.
Exactly.
So, only.
Only.
That's a restrictive act. And
so now it's knocked
down.
What's next, Michael?
I don't know.
Marriage between men and horses? That's the next step, you know.
I think once
it's a slippery slope.
If horses can argue their love of mankind, sure. Because horses, they're really well hung. So.
But anyway, that's no reason to get married, Michael.
No, that's not. That's just a mild flirtation. You don't want to do it.
No, that's a fling you do before you get married.
That's right. So you don't want to talk about that. Well, we'll be censored for that, won't we?
Nah.
And
Nobody watches.
that's not hearsay. That's the truth.
I guess so.
So, I'm glad that when we have a lot of friends, who are heterosexuals as well as our other friends.
Yes.
So we have, it doesn't matter what they are. So as long as everybody gets a fair chance at being happy, we're happy.
That's right. The pursuit of happiness is guaranteed in the Constitution of the United States.
That's true.
And I believe in it.
In it?
Yes,
the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Not the attainment of happiness.
Well,
just the
that's up to
pursuit
you.
of it.
Yeah.
No, that's up to a lot of things.
It's an elusive
pursuit is a good thing. Are these mics on? Do you know?
We have no idea.
I don't know. So,
but
I didn't hear our song in the beginning. So.
Well, I was, the other night I was in pursuit of happiness. When
you were.
I was going out to dinner. I was being taken out to dinner.
Because it's your birthday week.
It was
Happy birthday.
My birth month.
Yes.
And anyway, 2 women were taking me out to dinner. That's how I roll.
Yeah.
And so we decided.
You're pursuing happiness.
So we initially went to C Italian Restaurant there on Idaho behind Albertsons.
Yeah.
I've liked the food there in the past. They make their own pasta.
They're very
have
good.
Brick oven pizza. They have fabulous desserts.
They have good seafood, even though C doesn't stand for seafood. It's
CSI, as in yes.
Simply incredible.
In Italian.
Scrumptiously sweet indulgence. Yes.
So we went there, and they said, well, it'd be a 15-minute wait because there are 2 big parties that come in downstairs. And
Democrat and Republican?
And we don't know, but the kitchen was slammed apparently. And so they asked if we could wait about 15 minutes. So we reluctantly said okay. And so we were seated over in the waiting area.
Yes, I'm following this.
So we were sitting there for, I don't know, a good 10 minutes at least. And then another gentleman walks in and just goes and sits down at an empty table, and they bring him menus and water. And
was that me? It wasn't me, right?
It wasn't
okay,
you
because
this
I don't want to
time.
be the fault of this.
I'm thinking,
Problem.
well, this isn't right.
Well, why didn't you 3 just sit down?
And because you're supposed to wait to be seated, which we did. And so I'm thinking, I don't mind so much waiting before we sit down, but once we do sit down and we order our meals, we don't want to wait 45 minutes for the food to arrive, as it happened in that very same restaurant before.
Oh.
Alice and I had gone there, they were busy, and it took 45 minutes for the food to arrive. So I'm thinking, okay, let's cut our losses, and we left.
It's a good idea. So you traveled a half hour to get to the next restaurant.
So they said
distances are so far in Las Cruces.
So they said, well, where do you want to go next, Mark?
Where'd you go?
I said, well, let's try Q.
You're a tough customer.
Let's try Q.
Yes.
Okay. It's on the same street. It's on Idaho.
Yeah,
so we just journeyed down towards Mesilla. We got to, becomes Avenida de Mesilla. We went into Q.
Q, it's a new restaurant. We talked about it last week.
We did talk about it last week in depth somewhat.
They're basically a steakhouse, and steak is one of your favorite foods not to eat.
Steak and brew house.
You like brew house?
Brew is fine.
Yes.
And
So what'd you have there?
Well, we walked in and we sat down. See a booth or table? Let's say table. So we sat down at a big round table, and the chairs were just wooden chairs, very hard, no cushions.
Except the ones you carry.
I guess so.
Yes.
And I wish they should put cushions on the chairs. I think they're the same. It's the same furniture that was there before. And we didn't get past ordering water when we realized that the acoustics in the place were such that you really couldn't carry on a conversation.
It is kind of
it was very
cavernous in there. Hear that?
Like
Can't
that.
even hear us.
It was a din, not only with all the talk, but with there was music playing, there was a TV at the bar, and it's a very big, wide open area. I'd be happy to advise them on how to acousticize the place.
Right, by turning the sound effects down, right?
That's one thing.
That would help.
And so
I like
anyway,
how it looks there. That's a nice
and the hard
looking-
chair wasn't conducive to the back pain of one of my lady friends. So
Well, I thought you, because, it's your birthday, you're getting older, you can't take that type of abuse
no, I mean,
on your backside.
No, I take-
You've had lots of
I can take a lot of
abuse on
abuse,
your
Michael.
backside
What are you inferring?
before. I don't know. I'm wearing this shirt.
so anyway, we got them left.
That's
They
two
said-
places.
they said, well,
this is
now-
a fascinating story.
Well, now where can we go? I said, let's continue on down the same street and let's go to St. Clair Wineries, which we did. And we had a wonderful dinner there, as I knew we would.
They are good. We went there one night after, I think, theater or the movie. It was like 10, it's the last seating before they closed up totally.
Yeah.
It's like right before maybe 10 or 11. And we got our food. We ordered the things like the pot roast and the chicken stuff.
Yes.
Which both of those happen to be really good.
Alice had the roast beef.
And they come right away.
I had the chicken piccata. The food was good. The service was good. Because it was my birthday, I got a free dessert. And
Lucky you.
we had a very nice time there. So I have always recommended St. Clair Wineries.
And their wines aren't half bad.
No, I had a great.
Maybe a quarter
I had a
bad.
great
Their Meritage.
Pinot Grigio from Blue Teal.
Oh.
It's very nice.
Oh, so you like St. Clair? I do too.
I do like it. I recommend it. And the next restaurant down would have been Savoy.
Yes.
We didn't go there.
Because
You've gone
you're-
there.
Yes, at least twice.
Yes.
Twice.
How'd you like it?
The first time it was great. Actually, both times that we went, everybody in the party really liked it. And I tasted their food and it was good. And apparently, I don't know how to order stuff.
Yes.
Second time I was there, I had the scallops. They were slightly underdone. Whoa, sort of like that because that's pinkish. And they tasted a little, it tasted okay, but too yucky. And I mentioned that to the waitress and she comped me the meal. She was very nice.
It's a way to handle it.
A friend of mine, though, I heard had scallops, and apparently he had a little stomach problem after it. Maybe they were really not that done. So if you go there, most of the stuff at Savoy is pretty good. They have really fun desserts with liquid nitrogen coming up.
Yes.
That's always fun. Be careful with the scallops. The steaks are great. The other stuff, macaroni and cheese, they have a special exotic recipe for that. That's
Well,
pretty
you should be
good.
careful with scallops anywhere you go.
Well, if they're cooked, they're cooked.
Yes.
So, as well as most shellfish.
Exactly. So, you just got to watch it. Now, further on down the street, basically across the street from
Are
there,
we still going down the street?
you have Maison de Messia.
Oh, an exciting place.
Yes.
There's
and-
part of it. Savoy
and,
de Messia.
Across from Savoy is Maison, and they just did the
The TV show.
TV show Hotel Hell there, where they were trying to get their hotel on ground and the restaurant off the ground, and the restaurant is part of the hotel. It's a bed and breakfast.
They've been working at this since 2006.
So yeah, last week Gordon Ramsay was in town, and
He stayed over your house,
doing
right?
a
Because
show.
it was the only place
I had him
acceptable.
over.
Yeah.
He wanted a home cooked meal, so I saw to that.
Right.
And so we hope
So what
that
happened?
we
What
hope
happened?
that they were given the proper advice from Gordon Ramsay on how to attract customers. Number one,
Yes.
and once the customers show up,
That
that
they
they
would
had
like
a
it.
good visit.
Well, we all want an extra restaurant of the kind of restaurant that Maison de Messia tries to be, which was a better class of restaurant, really good food. Years ago when it was opened by the first people, they were really good and they were a major destination.
It used to be excellent. The problem is it's been closed for 2 years off and on.
Things happen.
People forget about it, and people wonder about it. And
The last time I was there, it had a funny smell. I don't like being in restaurants that have a funny smell.
Well,
you
yes.
kind of wonder.
I've heard people suggest, well, why don't they change the name? Just get away from the whole Maison thing. Start fresh.
And call it Hotel Hell. Restaurant from Hell. Do it that.
Hell's Kitchen.
I understand the first event that they're putting on now is going to be a Scotch and cigar night where you get 3 scotches, Lafroig, one of my, well, personally least favorite scotches. Tastes like, according to
Plastic?
me, burnt plastic.
Burnt plastic, yes.
Glenlivet, which is pretty good. And again, I think Bowmore or something, or Talisker maybe. I think Talisker.
And we've tasted
We
two
sort
of
of like
those
Talisker.
scotches on this show previously.
Yeah, we have. Talisker is okay. You put a little ice in it, a little water, and it's a very complex, interesting flavor.
And then you get
Lafroig,
three,
supposedly, so.
you get a different cigar with each one of those scotches.
And I know nothing about cigars, but you do.
I smoke the occasional cigar.
Yes.
And then you also get some hors d'oeuvres with that for $40.
Yeah.
So if you're into that, call Maison now.
We had been to, well, we did Scotch tastings on this show, but I think they've had Scotch tastings down in Billy Cruz. Those are pretty good. They also had an Irish whiskey meal with the Irish whiskey tasting. That was great.
Yeah.
Yes. Irish whiskey. You really don't want to eat a meal with Irish whiskey, but I'll tell you what, the Irish whiskey that was paired with the lox or the smoked salmon, that worked wonderful because Irish whiskey is a little sugary, it's a little sweet. It's not like the peatiness and smokiness of Scotch, which is one of the things that the Japanese like to eat their meals with. They drink Scotch during their, I guess that would add some kind of excitement to sushi. That might be good. We should do that.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That is a good
Instead
idea.
Of sake,
Yeah,
Scotch.
Scotch. When I lived in New York and we used to go to Japanese restaurants, there were some Japanese restaurants that had regulars who would buy bottles of Scotch and they would store them for them with their name on it in a cabinet, and you came in and you'd take your Scotch bottle and drink that with your meal.
I usually have a Japanese beer with my sushi and sashimi.
Japanese beer is good. I like Japanese beer.
So let's hope that Maison,
Maybe Maison will do
learns
that.
from whatever mistakes they've made. Let's hope they learn to advertise more. They should be advertising on this channel because they don't do it. Look at this sign. It's a very small sign.
Yeah, it does.
It's hard to notice from the street as you pass by.
You can't even read the Maison de Messia because
That's
it's
true.
gold on a red background.
Right, with glare on it.
Glare.
So let's hope they learn how to advertise and not be afraid of it. And I wish them the best.
They were doing cute martinis.
Well,
$5 martinis. They were a little smaller, but you get a good taste. They were good martinis. So
now,
good for them.
While we're in Messia,
We are.
let's talk about the fact that in Messia, there's a new Marshal in town.
Oh,
That's right. The previous Marshal
yes.
left. He resigned his job so he could take pursue a job as an investigator for the district attorney's office.
Which probably makes more money. Being a police officer, Messia is not that big. It's not like they have a lot of money to pay you.
Or a lot of
that
crime
much.
to worry about.
No, the biggest crime is pretty much driving drunk through the city.
Speeders, yeah. So they brought back the previous Marshal.
Not the most recent one, because
No,
I think
a retired fellow, Officer Jojoba, Sheriff Marshal Jojoba. They brought him back, and
what do you know about him? Did you go to school with him also?
No, I didn't. All I know is he's named after a nut that they make
Jojoba?
the lotion out of, and oil.
That's a good fact to know. One of the former marshals of Messia co-owned, I think, the Welcome Inn in the middle of Las Cruces, and they got busted for something.
Right.
It was
well,
exciting.
I don't know. To be a law enforcement officer with the name Jojoba, there's a lot of jokes about, grease his palm that are just too easy to make.
Well, and you could be saying his name and people think you're laughing.
Jojoba. So, but
Well, speaking of people you went to school with.
yes.
You don't know where we're going here, but your school, your high school, is partially getting demolished at this point. They've ripped up the parking lot. They ripped up one entire wing.
I'll miss the old reform school.
I know. They took a lot of the cinder blocks and the bars that kept you in there away already. And we all know they're going to put a walkway over El Paseo.
There would be a pedestrian walkway over there to connect the two facilities.
They considered the catapult, but they realized some people are very bad catchers.
Only send one at a time. So with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back after these few words.
Perhaps. That's a word.
Welcome to La Buena Vida Women's Club, located away from the crowds but close to home. come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Hey, you, come here. Do you want to know the news? The Lost Cruises channel is now on 7 days a week. We'll keep it right here.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate, Fiesta Motors. Where buying a car is always a celebration.
Talk. Thanks for joining us here on Channel 98.
And right now, Mark is going to be interviewing the head of the film office in Las Cruces.
Au contraire, Michael.
Really?
Au
Is that-
contraire.
What language is that? Spanish?
That's Cruces.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
What happened?
Unfortunately,
What
I won't
happened?
be able
I was
to.
really looking forward to this.
Oh, it's a Las Cruces film office.
Well, we know that's singular.
Yes.
That's only one cruise.
cross
Uh,
to crucify the
head
the
of
film
the
liaison.
film guy.
Yes, unfortunately, I had been planned. I had planned on interviewing him today, but the city of Las Cruces chose not to renew his contract, and they fired him last week.
So we no longer have a film liaison.
We don't have a film liaison. We don't have a film office, and which is a shame. All the filmmakers in town have known for a long time that the city of Las Cruces has not the slightest interest in attracting film production to our area. They've
Well,
now
we
proved
do.
it once again by letting go the only person who had a conduit into the film world that could have helped bring productions to the town. And when they do show up, he can provide them with all the necessary assistance that they might need.
So
Oh
you
my
put your
God.
application in because
Not-
you're very
You know what?
used to this
I used to
milieu.
think, no, I would make a good film liaison, and I actually filled in for the film's liaison in the past. But I, knowing what I know now, I would never apply for that job, and I advise anybody else never to apply for the job of film liaison in the town of Las Cruces.
Is that hearsay?
Because
why? You can have it for
it's
a
not-
limit. You
they
could
don't
say
want you there.
They're advertising now film liaison for a limited time only. And that's what you get.
What they mean is the job is for a limited time only. It's only part-time.
But did the
No benefits.
past? Well, we don't know because you never interviewed him. But did the most recent guy that has been canned? Did he bring any business here?
He didn't have the chance. He wasn't here long enough.
So
that's a 1 to 2 year thing to do.
So he was Breaking Bad, huh?
He's only been here for, I don't know, 5 months maybe. And but he was here to assist with Hotel Hell, and
And that's over. So
and he's been in contact with other productions who are interested in coming here.
we do have a lot of people with film skills. The CMI
do.
graduates, the people from the Doniana
We have
Community
union
College.
crew persons here,
We have you.
ready to go.
We have Blue Mesa Productions.
We do. We have all these things that could be of great assistance to films and filmmakers.
We just need some folk.
It used to be when Bill Richardson was governor. He was the one that actually brought filmmaking to New Mexico. Studios were built, and he attracted a lot of films because
Innovative stuff. He wanted
the film
things.
incentive program was put in place thanks to him. And New Mexico was making a great deal of money from films coming here from all over the world, including primarily Hollywood.
The Lone Ranger was made here,
Lone
right?
Ranger. Once
That's
in
a
a while,
big
a
one.
film would trickle down to Las Cruces, but Bill Richardson tried to keep all the productions up in Albuquerque and Santa Fe area.
Well, that's typical.
The only thing when the film called Due Date came to New Mexico and was filming up there, they wanted to shut down a highway for 2 weeks so they could do their scenes there. And he said, "Oh, why don't you go down to Las Cruces and do that one?" And so Las Cruces fell for that.
You guys remember that one?
And a lot of people were inconvenienced and complained bitterly about it. But we can't fall for Bill Richardson's
We love complaining.
tactics. And we shouldn't, negate films wanting to come here because it's a clean industry, and they bring a lot of money. And now we have a governor who really isn't that crazy about the film business.
So both the film business, which is a forward-looking type of innovational, occupational need, it came here because of Bill Richardson, as well as the spaceport, which some people are now looking at as a waste of money, but will be starting up pretty darn soon. And that was forward thinking too, to think about new things to bring industry into New Mexico.
But now we have a governor who is kind of put the brakes on film production in New Mexico. That means less films coming to the state, which means far less films coming to Las Cruces if they ever were in the first place.
And also, I think we have less tax advantages for films, right? They cut the amount of money for tax advantages.
They put a ceiling on how much tax rebates could be given out. And of course, Las Cruces offers no incentives for filmmakers to come here, unlike towns like Tucson and Shreveport and Albuquerque do.
Savannah. But Savannah's doing stuff.
Well,
a lot of those little towns are. Memphis did a thing. We're almost that size.
We don't offer any incentives. In fact, we do the opposite. We put roadblocks up
to keep people from here. We just kicked our
that's
liaison
courtesy
guy.
of the city manager's office. He refuses to sign non-disclosure agreements. He is not willing to do the things it takes to attract films to Las Cruces, unlike Deming.
What?
Deming got the Forrest Whitaker film, which we should have gotten. They came here for one day, but they spent the rest of the 5 weeks in Deming and with 2 up in the studios in Albuquerque.
Well, that's what happens. But we do have some stuff in Las Cruces coming up.
Yes.
4th of July, we have
July concerts.
Great concert. I mean, 3 groups that,
the 70s.
Of course, you'd have to be over 40 to have remembered them, but we are. And so are most of the people in Las Cruces. So the 3 groups are Average White Band.
Yes.
Were they
Pick up the
average
pieces. Remember that?
Were they above average?
Pick up the pieces.
Did we get any music? We pull any music
That's
there?
too late. It's too late. We didn't get it.
The Family Stone, formerly known as Sly and the Family Stone, formerly known as Prince and Sly and the Family Stone.
No.
Prince wasn't.
There's no Prince.
No, but it was formerly known.
Sly.
At least
Not
Prince
Sylvester
is
Stallone and the Family
actor
Stone.
formerly known as Prince.
And Spyro Gyra.
And everybody likes that
My
because
personal favorite. They're jazz fusion.
they're glad to find out that Spyro Gyra is not a sexually transmitted disease.
That's true. Spyro Gyra Keat. That's something else.
Maybe there.
But Spyro Gyra. So the band is going to start, in the late afternoon. Two bands will play before the fireworks.
Yes.
And then Spyro Gyra comes on around 10 o'clock after the fireworks.
But I'm looking forward to the Family Stone because they had fun. Those are dance songs. Those guys, dance to the music.
Kind of funk-like.
That's funk, man.
That's the Average White Band right there.
Yeah. Average White Band was great.
I remember dancing to the Average White Band in a disco in London back in the swinging 70s.
Was it a gay disco?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
They didn't have them then.
Well, yes, they did.
I didn't have a secret password.
They did.
But anyway, it should be a good time for all.
And your nipple piercings are
4th of
sort
July.
of growing over, right? So that's good. So 4th of July is good. I think for the last couple of years I've been going there, and they've had good groups. Really make it Creedence Clearwater,
the
Dis
Commodores
Revival.
last year,
Great stuff. So this is worth going to. Unless all of you listening to the show are going to go there and keep us out because it's going to be too crowded. But usually there's enough room. Bring your little sit-up chairs, bring your little picnic-y things, and it's fun.
I like to sit right next to the mixing board because that's where you get the best sound.
If you have a good mixer.
Yes.
Yeah, some of these mixers,
Exactly.
you never know. So that'll be fun. 4th of July, you have to worry about other things,
now,
too.
in conjunction
Fireworks.
with 4th of July, pets. We have a few 4th of July pet safety tips. Now, lots of dogs and cats go crazy when they hear the fireworks going off because it happens once a year, and it's startling to them. It's unsettling for them. When I was a kid, we had a dog, and if he heard a firecracker, he'd run and hide behind the toilet and shiver for hours.
You should have put warm water in your toilet. He wouldn't have shivered.
And
so what are you saying? Is that a cat or a polar bear?
So, the dogs and the cats are traumatized. Some people even give their animals
tranquilizers?
Pet tranquilizers.
Or what you could do is weeks before this,
be setting off fireworks?
Fireworks in the house.
In the house, yes.
In the house.
Give them a sparkler to wave around.
Yeah, bam. Boom.
So, we have to be sensitive to their, keep the doors and windows closed. Maybe turn the TV up louder, have the air conditioner on.
You have a cat.
I have a cat. But there's other hazards besides fireworks. Animals can also be damaged by fireworks, so you don't want to have your pets around when you're setting off fireworks.
Especially when they bite them.
They could be easily burned. Yes, they don't know how to deal with them.
What's this barbecue thing?
Pets
here?
can also be damaged at a barbecue. There's propane fire around.
What?
They shouldn't be eating greasy food that you've cooked on the barbecue because it's really not good for them.
Neither should you.
Any more than it's good for you. No, but it's worse for pets because they're much smaller. And so it's concentrated with them. Also, they shouldn't eat corn on the cob. It's very bad for them. They shouldn't be eating...
Corn on the cob?
Yes, or off the cob. They shouldn't be eating corn. It's not good for them. It's really not good for us if it's not organic. And pets should not be eating grapes. There's other things pets shouldn't be having.
Oh, there's a whole menu of things pets shouldn't have. Pets should probably not eat caviar because it's a little salty.
Well,
capers and anchovies. Anchovies have those little bones.
I eat them all the time. Now, they should not eat chocolate. Pets.
You're mean.
They should
You're
also,
really mean.
They should also eat foods that are sweetened with xylitol.
I don't want to be your pet.
Because it can cause damage to them.
What about aspartame?
No, nobody
So you shouldn't
nobody
pour
should
your
have that.
diet soda into your pet's bowl thinking, well, this will keep them from getting chubby.
And also, you know,
that was helpful.
A lot of people have pools, and the pets are in the pool, and you have to be careful of chlorine, the tablets. The pets wouldn't want to be chomping onto that.
All those chlorine tablets are in floaters, you know.
You want to keep those away from your pets as well.
And what happens when your pet gets poisoned?
You need to call the Pet Poison Helpline.
Which is what?
Yeah, if your pet eats something that you don't know what's wrong with it, call the Pet Poison Helpline at 800-213-6680.
And you can see that's one of those toll-free numbers, which means you're probably talking to China.
No, I don't think so.
Don't eat chicken because it could be a pet.
Well, yes.
You never know.
So, also,
well, this is fascinating.
Also, we're adopting pets today. There's 3 spots around town where you can go adopt a pet. Unfortunately, the article in the Sun News said continued on page 9C, and it wasn't.
I told you it was, but even though 9C is the cartoon page, it was hidden in the crossword. If you had done the crossword on time, you would have found out where those 3 pet spots were.
But I do know where one of them is.
Yes, which is?
And that is downtown at the Farmers and Crafts Market, going on until about 1 o'clock today.
And probably Petco and maybe the tractor store.
Maybe Pet's Barn, you never know, but there are going on around town. Plus, you can always go up to the animal shelter up on Highway 70.
And speaking of fur.
Speaking of fur, you know, Venus in fur.
I know that.
What is that?
That is, I think, the title of a slightly erotic novel by Anais Nin. But it's also the new play by David, relatively new, 2010.
By David Ives.
David Ives, a very funny writer. But this has also got a little bit of edgy sexiness, Venus and fur, you know, probably a little B&D, which I won't explain in case some children are listening to
I
it.
remember Venus in Blue Jeans, the
You
Frankly Avalon song, I think
It's good that you remember anything.
What'd you say? I forget you said that.
I forget who I am. Anyway, 8 o'clock tonight, and next Friday, for the next 2 Fridays and Saturdays,
after this,
8 o'clock, it's at the Reader's Theater between
University.
the English and Communications Building off Jordan.
Yeah, if you know where Barnes & Noble is, if you go out the back door of Barnes & Noble, just head south across the parking lot. That's
so we're
the Reader's
going there
Theater
now.
building.
We're going to be there. We'll see you there tonight.
We'll be there tonight. If you see us there, come up and say hello.
Other than that, we'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us right here on Double Talk.